Breaking right now, she's done it again. Meghan Markle has ripped off her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, from this woman.
Angela Levin just dropped a major accusation. Meghan Markle may have stolen a podcast concept from an Irish teen entrepreneur. Yes, you heard that right. A young, up-and-coming voice in media now finds herself at the center of a royal controversy, with allegations of idea theft shaking up the podcasting world.
And it is particularly shameful because this woman is exactly the sort of person who you'd think Meghan Markle would want to back. Katie Matei, young Irish woman, entrepreneur, who literally launched the show Confessions of a Female Founder in October 2023. Here's the video.
Guys, my name's Katie. I'm founder and owner of Vale Street. So excited to kick off today's video, and I want to give you guys a grand welcome to episode 1 of Confessions of a Female Founder, tell all series where I share my experiences and advice as a 23-year-old entrepreneur. I've been in business since the age of 16.
Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, joins me now. Angela, this has to be her lowest blow yet, her biggest rip-off yet, because this poor woman, Katie Matei, who came up with Confessions of a Female Founder, has actually posted on Instagram overnight saying, what is happening and how did I get dragged into this? In other words, Meghan hasn't even approached her and said, can I use this name? Can I give you some money to take your intellectual copyright? Nope, she's just gone and done it. And I feel that, it's so shameless.
Well, it is. It's hugely shameless. But it does tell you that she never learns. She never wants to actually acknowledge that she's made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Say, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. I must have dreamt it or something like that. She couldn't give a moment's thought to anybody else. And that is Meghan, exactly what she's like. She's a monster. She couldn't care about anyone. And that's what she does. She just takes it and that's it. Never mind, it's stolen, actually, isn't it? It's absolutely stolen. She couldn't care about that at all.
Stick around as we break down what Angela Levin exposed, what the teen creator claims, and whether Meghan Markle really lifted someone else's idea for her Archetypes series. Before Archetypes became a Spotify hit, a teen from Ireland was already developing a similar concept.
I mean, Angela, I couldn't agree with you more. It's completely stopped. I mean, what, we're meant to believe that Meghan didn't see this or her team didn't see this, yet it's exactly the same name. And as you say, Angela, if this was a one-off mistake and she admitted it, then maybe we'd be okay with it. But her track record of rip-offs is just constant. I mean, actually, we spoke about it earlier in the week, and we'll be putting up a video at the weekend of you completely exposing her ripping off Martha Stewart's one pot pasta video in With Love Meghan. So unfortunately, Meghan Markle doesn't have an original idea in her own head, but I just think this one in particular is so shameful because she claims to care about young women launching their own businesses, yet she is prepared to rip this young woman off. Now, what should happen now, Angela, is there should be an apology and money should exchange hands. But do you think that will happen?
No, she just pretends it's not happening. We have seen for 5 years now that if she makes a mistake or she's very rude or, says something or behaves somewhere and it is absolutely not accepted, she just closes the door in her mind. You don't see her for a few days, then up she pops, couldn't care less, off she goes. Sometimes people say that she's very upset and she's been crying, but I don't think so. I think she's so hardened that she couldn't care less because she's not trying to improve at all with anybody, to anybody. And I think it's absolutely appalling. And when she's being on different programs, she couldn't care less about anything there. Nothing. I think she is just revolting. And that's why Harry is in such a state, because he can't understand what he should do next. He loves her, part of her, but, she's a sort of woman that you can't ever really say, well, don't say that about me. Don't do this about me. Don't allow me only 3 minutes in your 8 instant in your work. I'd like to be a bit more. He doesn't dare. That's what I've said for a long time, that he's scared of her because she couldn't care less about anyone. And as for the royal family, she would love to do it. I read actually this morning that somebody said that she couldn't care less about them. And her ideal is to hurt them in any way that she could. And this is even beyond that, isn't it?
Yes.
For a young girl like that, who's been very hard and
a young female founder. Yep, exactly.
Thinking about what to do, and yet she couldn't care less. And we see that because she says one thing and she does another. The hypocrisy is just extraordinary. But I think it's now coming to a head where she's going ridiculously round. I mean, she's doing one thing after another because she wants to be seen and heard, and she adores Instagram. It's like her best friend now, and she's going to talk and talk and talk. She can't stop, and she won't let anybody else stop her. This picture of her, she looks as if she's from a sort of, there's been a terrible effect, and she looks very dangerous. And don't come after me. Look, it's very, very hard, her face. I am the queen. I'm the one who owns this.
Don't mess with me.
Exactly. Don't mess with me. She looks like that. Now, if you wanted to be positive and saying, I'm talking to a lot of girls, a lot of women, and we're going to talk about all things, and I'm going to learn lots of things, then you expect some sort of smile, some sort of enthusiasm. This is definitely, don't mess with me.
Tackling female stereotypes and empowering women through real stories and interviews. Her podcast reportedly focused on young women's voices and the impact of labels in society. The young creator, whose name we'll protect due to ongoing media pressure, shared her idea in a school competition and had even pitched it to a few UK production outlets.
Big time, which is the new era, isn't it? But my goodness, Angela, the reaction to this podcast, whoa. It was really strong. The Spectator headlined their coverage, Does Meghan Need Another Podcast? And their writer, Alistair Larman, said success, Winston Churchill supposedly once remarked, is the ability to go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. If this is indeed the case, then Meghan Markle's 2025 thus far represents a remarkable series of triumphs and victories. Alex Phillip, very good, wasn't it? Alex Phillips, our friend, a regular here on Outspoken, posted on X, the only thing you've found, speaking to Meghan Markle, is a mentally ill prince with mummy issues you manipulate. And the Royal News Network, Angela, she actually changed the title of the show and said, fixed it. Meghan Markle should title her show Confessions of a Grifter. Now that I would listen to. According to Taz, another regular here, said, oh no, please no. There is not enough Advil in the world. Why not do a podcast called Confessions of a Femme Fatale? Get your bingo cards ready, folks. Talks over guests, anecdotes about her life with every guest, swipes at the royal family, lies about her childhood. And Angela, what was quite astonishing about this, and again, it was pointed out by Brittany at the Royal News Network, there's only 8 episodes. Brittany says that's pathetic. Wonder if she had a tough time getting guests, and that's why the number is so small.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, she's not going to listen to any of those 8 women. We saw with Spotify that people weren't allowed to have a conversation. What she feels anywhere, really, is to tell them about herself. She's not interested. She might ask a quick question. She doesn't know how to interview. She doesn't know how to ask questions. It's, I'm telling you about me. Then when she's traveling and she went to see a whole load of children, she said, and I'm sure you want to know all about how I did this, And I was very good at school, and I This, told everybody what they should do and how they should do it. She feels that we all get enormous pleasure from knowing everything she does and how she does it. We don't, but she won't recognize that. She doesn't. She's not interested. But it's a waste of time talking to these ladies. She doesn't even allow them to say very much because she'll be in the second sentence and she'll be telling them all about her and how dreadful it was and how awful it was. And she was so upset, but she struggled through and she's made it. And oh, she's so thrilled. And you have to do what I'm doing, which is keep going. Oh, really? I think she's one of the most hated women in the world now. She was the most famous, and now I think she's the most hated because you go through loads of people, and I can't find anybody who likes her, who thinks, unless she pays them, but unless she thinks that that she's all right, she's not. I'm going to get a load of letters from and emails from all her friends and her paid friends.
Yeah,
but never mind.
they're a diminishing number, Angela, because
Fast forward months later. Archetypes launches with nearly identical themes and similar structure, sparking outrage from her supporters online. Enter royal biographer Angela Levin, never shy of calling out the Sussexes.
look, it's really interesting that you point out the reaction across the world, because what's fascinating to me is how much negativity there is now emanating from the United States of America and Canada. And I wanted to share a couple of examples of you about that I've picked up over the past 24 hours, Angela, from very highly respected people, actually, across the political spectrum too. So Gad Saad.
Not people who want to be unkind.
No.
But they can't stand her.
Yeah, I mean, Gad Saad, for example, he posted, "It is almost impossible to imagine someone who is more vacuous in her delusional narcissism than this degenerate." And then this line I thought was very funny, Angela. "Her wife, Harry, is clueless."
I know.
He's very clever. And then actually, this is more interesting though, because as you say, it's from people who don't want to be negative. Mary Catherine Ham, she's a Democrat in America and widely considered to be a very kind person. And she posted, "Meghan Markle violates my press release rule. Each person only gets so many press releases allotted in a lifetime. Graduations, marriages, divorces, babies, job changes. Other people only have so much capacity to celebrate or be excited about your stuff. This is why a third wedding announcement, or say a fourth baby, might get less fanfare than a first. Fair enough, you have stuff going on." The modern social media era has exacerbated the press release problem, as everyone has made a press release of everything. Your gender reveals, your 100K followers, your therapy breakthrough, your second gender ID change, and third sexual proclivity announcement. At some point, people just can't care. And at another point, they get annoyed you're insisting they care. We are on at least Meghan's 6th or 7th public reinvention at this point, her 5th or so product launch. Each an uncomfortable false start, followed by a period of highly paid, inauthentic, and unimpressive work. There are too many press releases. Many people were at can't care anymore a while ago and might not have progressed to so annoyed, except her brand cohesive, vertically synergistic, corporately required to recoup ubiquity for each launch leads us to a new cycle of wait. She's launching another podcast, bespoke jam, company, logo, ethos, last name, thought leadership, mothership. Too many press releases. But Angela, doesn't she have it spot on?
The other side of it is that all these announcements, but they don't happen. We're still, if you're interested, waiting to be able to buy one of the things she's made, the jam or the tea. You still can't get it. They say now it's in April, but people have been waiting since last March. It's sort of ironic and ridiculous, and makes you not know anything that's going on. But I think that's what she wants. She wants to muddle us all up so we can't work her out. She's just so amazing that we can't actually analyze it properly. But why do you do things when you know that nobody can buy it, nobody can comment on it? If you want to sell something, you want to do it that will make the person very excited at the same time as they're listening to you, so they can try and get it. Here, you're never going anywhere. You're in a puddle, not going anywhere. It's a sort of ridiculous way of behaving, but she's got to have it. It's like, she's starving for as much attention as possible. And now she's got Instagram. Nobody can stop her. No one.
Levin now claims there's credible evidence that Meghan, or someone from her team, may have had access to the Irish teen's concept through public channels or production networks. She points out striking similarities: the title style, the theme of breaking female stereotypes, even guest format and segment naming. According to Levin, it's not just a coincidence. She's calling it a ripoff.
No, indeed, because we get to see the real Meghan. Now, Angela, by contrast, you see true class. And I think true class is really developing at the moment with this relationship between the Beckhams, Victoria Beckham, and King Charles and Camilla. But there is a fascinating side story to all of this, because, of course, Camilla and Victoria Beckham were at Buckingham Palace this week, and we've got some footage actually of them having a lovely conversation, which we can take a little look at. But there's an undertone to this, isn't there, Angela? Because it suits both parties. Because remember, the Beckhams were previously allied to the Sussexes until they realised just how awful Meghan was, and now they've become such a big part of King Charles and Camilla's court. They're doing a lot of stuff together.
Yes. I always think that David Beckham, he's after having a really good sort of Sir David.
Oh, he wants the knighthood more than anything in the world. Anything in the world.
And I think that they're both working towards that as much as they possibly can, laughing at their jokes, also going to have bees and honey. If you're doing it, so am I, so we've got this in common as well. And I think, not that they're cunning, but I think they've got that ambition that it will work very well. I mean, Camilla, as I know her, is with her for over a year, is that she's always charming, but you can't make her say something or do something she doesn't really want to. She's very strong. She sees right through you, and she knows the time to be very polite and talk to you a little bit, or she knows just to say a quick sentence and go on to someone else, all done beautifully, seamlessly. But it is interesting now that they're everywhere. They were having a dinner there, a sort of Italian dinner, weren't they, at Highgrove a few weeks ago. So they're there whenever they're needed. And I think they are needed because they're attractive and they look nice. But I think David sort of taking off a lot of his clothes and having pictures of him with all this, ink all over him, I don't think that's ideal.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because they certainly feel like it's a coup, having secured the support of the Beckhams. Because remember, Angela, the big falling out between the Beckhams and Harry and Meghan was over the fact, and it's just so preposterous, that Meghan tried to claim that Victoria Beckham was leaking stories, which is just, I mean, trust me, I covered the Beckhams for years and years and years and years. There's just no way Victoria Beckham did that.
But also, the other thing was that Meghan said that they were telling lies about them. And also, they wouldn't let her have free jackets and coats and dresses. She was very cross. She thought that Victoria should give her free things. And I don't know whether she did or she didn't. But, why should she? She's making her living. But she was very cross that she was going to make her pay things. There we are. There he is. I think actually if you're trying to get the right side of the king, you shouldn't be dressing like that. And also keeping his legs open. That's it. Yeah. Not quite well behaved.
I have a feeling there'll be quite a few people watching, Angela, who might disagree with you on that and say, keep it going, David. Keep taking those clothes off. But yeah,
So, did Meghan Markle steal a podcast idea from a teen Irish entrepreneur? Angela Levin thinks so. The public is watching, and if the young creator decides to take action or speak out, this could become one of the biggest PR blows Meghan has faced since the Netflix series. Is it inspiration, coincidence, or something more troubling? Let us know your take in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive deep dives into the stories the mainstream media won't cover. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious.